Hi everyone, this is Chandni Singh and welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is about summer makeup and how to make it long lasting. I'm also going to talk about the pros and cons for oily skin, dry skin, and in case this is the tutorial you've been looking for, keep watching. So when I talk about summer makeup, the most basic thing that you have to remember is that you should not go over the top with your foundation and your products on your skin. Also, when I'm talking about keeping it all fresh and everything, the contour and everything is relatively minimal or none in case you think you can manage with it. If I contour also, I'm going to use a very light product so that the whole looks very soft and pretty. I'm just gonna start with my eye makeup first. As always, I in fact feel that everybody should start with their eyes because if you have any kind of product fallout, you're not going to ruin your under eyes. So when I start my eye makeup, I will always just take any concealer and take it all over my eyelid, and I'm just going to set it with powder before I put any kind of eyeshadow on top of it. So I've taken my LA Girl Pro Conceal in shade Natural and I've applied it all over my lids, and I'm just going to blend it out with a brush. You can also use your fingertips to do the needful. Do not apply a very thick layer because if you will apply a very thick layer, it might crease. And I'm just going to take some loose powder and I'm going to set it. So I'm just taking some loose powder and I'm just patting it. If you will not use any loose powder on it, it might start creasing. And now because we're talking about very soft pretty makeup, I'm just going to use a pretty pink eyeshadow all over my lid. So I'm going to start my eye makeup and I'm using a blending brush for my eyeshadow. I am going to use Huda Beauty's new palette. It's called the Rose Gold Palette Remastered, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this beautiful soft dusty rose pink color into my crease, and I'm going to use a pretty pink color, Pink Diamond, right here. So I've had a lot of questions from a lot of women that is this color in the crease really important? I feel even like this is in fact one of the steps that greatly helps make your eyes look bigger than what they are, and particularly because you use a matte color in the crease, it adds a little bit of depth to the eye also. So if you see, I'm not going crazy dark, and as a rule I usually like to apply 2 coats. If you have a patch on your eyelid while doing this, that means the pressure you're applying on your eyes is a lot. If you see, my brush just kind of moves on top of my lid. I'm not like applying too much of pressure while doing it. I also feel that you should make a habit that whenever you pick up your color on your brush, you need to dust it off. So now I'm going to repeat the same step on the other eye. Just make sure you create an equal balance in both eyes. So I feel this eye is a little darker, so I'm just going to add a little bit of color in the other eye. And now I'm just going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going to apply some color on my lid area. So now I'm just going to apply a pretty pink eyeshadow all over my lid. I have picked up the color Fling. Please do not try and apply your lid color with a fluffy brush. You will not get good intensity with it. What I'm also going to do is the color that I've picked up is slightly more plum pink, and in fact I'm going to layer it with a lighter color on top. I also feel that when you do this technique, it gives the eye a very three-dimensional feel, and it looks like you've done a lot of drama on it. However, the only thing you've really done is layered your colors really well. And now on the same pink, I'm just going to apply a lighter pink eyeshadow, and do you see how it really pops? So I feel layering the eyeshadow is a very good idea always. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend it in between both the colors. It should always look like your lid color is transitioning into the crease color. There should be no gap between it. So there you go, my eyeshadow is done, and because I'm keeping it very fresh, I'm not going to add any kind of dark colors at the outer edge or anything. In fact, today I'm also going to use a brown pencil eyeliner and not a typical black sharp gel eyeliner or anything like that. So I've just done a very basic pencil liner. I've used the L'Oreal pencil in Brown Fusion. It's shade number 204. And after I've applied it, I'm just going to take an angular brush. An angular brush looks like this. And I'm just kind of going to smoke it out a little bit. If you want to drag it out and make it look like a winged eyeliner, you can always do that. And I'm just going to apply mascara. So I'm going through a little phase of unequal lashes right now because I got my lash extensions done last month, and right now they are shedding, and there's more hair that has shed from this eye and not from that. So just excuse if both my eyes don't look the same. And I'm just going to highlight my brow bone. Very simple, soft, quick day look for the eyes. I know it's, I mean, it's become very confusing now because the Instagram trends are like really heavy makeup, and I feel I'm just here trying to remind you that you just don't have to get into it all the time. I mean, if you think that being a makeup artist I apply too much of makeup, no, I keep it very real. I mean, of course, I have my days when I wear my makeup. I wear my makeup for my tutorials. If my bride likes heavy makeup, I do heavy makeup. When my bride likes it soft, I keep soft makeup. But I feel that you just need to understand what kind of makeup suits you and works for you and stick to it. So now we come to summer makeup, and I see a lot of women who are shying away from oils and moisturizers. Now, I am somebody who's got dry skin, but now in this humid weather I do get my share of oiliness, particularly here, right? And I just have one little advice to give to women who've got super oily skin is also do not shy away from moisturizing your skin. Face oils is the new thing, and yes, they work a lot better than a regular moisturizer. If you're somebody who sweats a lot and who gets too oily, I do recommend that you should also use ice cubes on your skin. Applying ice on your skin, do not apply directly. You know, you can just roll it, like roll a tissue paper over it, and then just kind of give yourself a cold compress. You can also use cotton pads that are being kept in the freezer, whatever works for you. I feel that will drastically take away the oiliness for a certain time. And of course, we need to also use a mattifying primer, which I'm going to talk about now. So before I move on to this, today I'm using the Royalry face oil, rose gold, and if you see, I'm going to apply it generously on my skin. In fact, if you're somebody who feels that your foundation does not look like second skin, I get a lot of messages from a lot of women who keep telling me that my foundation does not look like second skin. And if your foundation does not look like second skin, this is one step that you need to include in your everyday makeup. One of my most favorite oils is a brand called Indulgeo Rose Gold, and that is available with us also. However, being a makeup influencer, I try and use a lot of other brands just because I want to test it out. So Indulgeo now has also come out with a Wonder Gold, and that works really well for extreme sensitive acne prone skin also. These products are available with us for sale. You can follow our page CS Essentials India on Instagram. You can DM us if you want to make an order. So if you see right now, my skin looks oily, and I do recommend that your skin should look oily when you start applying your makeup, right? If you do this step, your concealer, your foundation glides over your skin like that, and it will not become patchy or anything. So now at this point, after I've applied my face oil, I'm going to use a mattifying primer. So I'm going to give you two options. In an affordable one, you can buy the Wet n Wild matte face primer, or you can invest in the Urban Decay De-Slick Complexion Primer, which is also extremely mattifying. So today I'm going to use, because I'm trying to use a lot of affordable products today, so I'm just going to stick to Wet n Wild. So Wet n Wild products are available on Nykaa. Next step is going to be a peach corrector, and I'm not using orange today because again I'm talking about minimalism, right? If I apply an orange corrector, I need to apply a lot more product on top to hide the orangeness. So I'm just going to stick to a peach corrector. Also, I want to show people, so this is my skin typically, and like any other person, I have my share of pigmentation as well. I have my dark circles, which are obviously stronger, a lot more inside. I also have pigmentation around the mouth, and this is the area which usually turns, you know, it gets oxidized. I have pigmentation on the sides of the forehead. I also have some on my cheekbones. So I'm just going to take the LA Girl Peach Corrector. So I also feel that the Peach Corrector brightens up the skin in a really nice way, and I'm just going to apply it in my inner corner a lot more, and then I'm going to blend this out. This is my peach corrector done, and I'm also going to take a beauty blender and I'm going to pat it, because I feel a beauty blender always picks up extra product. Now if you see, my dark circles are still visible, and like I feel in most women's cases this groove always pops out a lot more than the rest of the face. So now I'm going to also touch up my skin with LA Girl Pro Conceal in shade Warm Honey. I'm just going to take this product and I'm going to dot it all over the darker areas of my face, and the darker areas are all those areas where I have already applied my peach corrector. I'm also going to use my Crown dual-ended blending brush. I feel this is a brilliant brush, particularly for under eyes. And now I'm going to start blending out. And as always, I'm going to do a mix of both. I'm also now going to blend this with my beauty blender. And when I do it with my beauty blender, I don't rub it. I just kind of pat it on my skin. The idea is to blend it and take away excess product. So now if you see, the moment I've done the darker color in Warm Honey, all my problem areas are hidden. So this is where most people go wrong, where they end up using a color which is too light. If the shade is too light, how is it going to cover the dark areas on your face? It's practically impossible, right? And the next step is I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. Now, for me, using an illuminating foundation works. However, if you feel that you need to use a slightly more mattifying product, you can always pick up a foundation that is mattifying. But at the same time, if you do all these steps of applying ice on your skin, applying a mattifying primer, I feel a little bit of this product, even on oily skin, would not make it look too oily, right? The idea is to apply very little. In fact, I'm not even taken an entire pump of foundation. I've just taken half a pump and I'm going to dot this foundation all over my face. The shade that I'm using is shade 646. Again, I can use a shade 645. However, I still prefer going a tad bit darker so that my problem areas don't pop out. So after I've distributed half a pump all over my skin, I'm just going to take a buffing brush and I'm going to start blending this out. I'm using the Sigma flat angled kabuki brush in F88. Do not apply crazy amount of pressure, keep your pressure minimal. Make sure you blend it into your hairline. Take the brush over your ears as well and bring the same brush down your neck as well. To blend this further, I'm going to take a stippling brush from Sigma again. This is F50, and I just take this and I buff it into my skin purely with the idea of making my foundation look like second skin. And now I take my damp beauty blender and I pat it again, just because I want to reduce the amount of product on my skin. So there you go. This is my entire skin done. Now for me, I don't care if I look a shade darker and my skin looks flawless. In fact, isn't it better? I mean, if I had to choose between looking fair and my skin looking imperfect, I'd either choose looking darker and my skin looking flawless, right? What I do, in fact, so you can stop it right here if you are okay with it, and you can just dab your loose powder on top of it. For women, if you wish to really kind of pop your face out a bit, I take the color Natural from LA Girl, and now I'm just going to apply this on my under eye area, right? First, what I'll do is I'll just blend this side of the face so that I can show you exactly how highlighting the face works, and I'll just apply a little bit in the center of my forehead. So if you are dark or dusky skin, instead of natural, the color you need to pick up is yellow. Obviously, if you'll apply more yellow, you look brighter. If you apply less yellow, you look a little more natural. So that really depends. Natural is one color that will work for most Indian skin tones that are on the medium side. I just take a mini beauty blender so I have applied the highlight color, the LA Girl natural shade on this side, and I haven't applied it on this side, just to show it to you that how it can brighten up the face. Do not try and use colors which are extremely light, because the moment you do that, all your dark circle, all your pigmentation, everything will pop back out. I also applied the color Natural on the bridge of my nose. Now all these steps are really optional. And then again, back with my beauty blender, just patting my skin so as to remove excess product. And I'm just going to take loose powder and I'm just going to apply it all over my skin. I tend to kind of crease a little bit on my under eyes, and this is the brush. In fact, the thinner side is what I love to blend those lines. Remember, if you have lines, you can't hide them. In fact, the lesser the product on them, the lesser the lines are going to be. So I just take this brush and I just keep on blending it out till the lines appear lesser. So I am just going to take some bronzer now, and I'm just going to add a little soft contour to my face. I'm using the Makeup Revolution Ultra Sculpt and Contour Kit. I'm using the shade medium, and I'm just going to take my contour brush and I just take this color right here, apply it all along my forehead. The brush I'm using is the Sigma F23. As I said, I'm not going to do any crazy amount of contour. However, I do feel that this is a step that kind of adds a lot of dimension to the face. And I'm going to finish it off with a blusher. I'm going to use my favorite palette from Makeup Revolution. This is called Sugar and Spice. I love all the colors in it. It's got 6 matte colors and 2 shimmery colors, so these can be applied individually as well. However, what I simply do is, like, I use a matte blusher, and in case I need to add a little shine to it, I just take one of the shimmery colors and apply it on top. So I'm going to take this pretty fresh pink color. And I'm just going to take the lighter shimmery color and I'm just going to apply it on top of my blush. The Sugar and Spice palette is also available for sale with us. I applied a shimmery color on top of a matte blush. However, if you are somebody who sweats too much or is excessively oily skin, I recommend you skip the shimmer blush. I applied because my skin is relatively on the drier side, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of highlighter. I'm using the Triple Bake highlighter in Goddess of Faith. I just take that and I apply it on my cheekbones. A little bit on my Cupid's bow. Skip this step in case you're somebody who oils up a lot in the T-zone. And also another point that I totally forgot to mention was that in case you're somebody who's relatively more oilier, apply your loose powder on the skin with a beauty blender, not with a brush. A brush gives you a very minimal application of powder. So I just feel like I usually tend to oil up, and I've already started oiling up here. So I'm just taking my loose powder and applying a little bit right here. And I'm just going to finish the brows. I'm using the Makeup Revolution brow pomade, and I'm using an angular brush. And I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to lightly fill up my brows. I just like to add a little bit of width. I find them very, very thin on myself. Do not forget to fill up your brows. Do you see how much of a difference it makes to the face? The whole face looks a lot more uplifted, and even the softest of eye makeup just pops out. Finishing the look off with a pretty pink lipstick. I'm using the NYX lip liner in shade number SPL835. The matte lipstick in shade Please Me. Please Me is one of my most favorite nude colors. There you go, that's my entire look put together. Hope you like it. I'm also going to use a mattifying spray on top of this to seal it now. I forgot to discuss one little bit. As far as your lower lash line is concerned, I mean, if you're somebody who can't do without your kajal, go ahead and wear your kajal. But I'm not somebody who's very big on kajal on myself. I'm just going to take an eyeshadow. I've taken a medium brown color eyeshadow, and I'm just going to apply a little bit on my lower lash line. So coming to mattifying fixers, my favorite fixers are the LA Girl Pro Setting High Definition Long Lasting Matte Finish Spray, or you can also use the NYX Matte Finish Spray. All you do is just take it and just kind of just do that and let it set on your face naturally. And yes, for women who've got extremely oily skin, you can always carry blotting paper in your bag. I always have my compact in my bag as well. So in case you feel a little bit oily, you can do it. But I feel that if you use the mattifying primer and spray and also apply ice on your skin, you will not oil up as much. So I hope you like this tutorial. And if you do, give me a big thumbs up. Do leave your comments. I love reading your lovely comments. Thank you for all your love. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe now. Also, a little information for all our new subscribers is that I'm based in New Delhi. I have my studio in Horse Cars. I also do professional makeup classes and personal makeup classes. In case you're somebody who wishes to buy your LA Girl products, you can always walk into my studio and we'll help you out with the colors that you need for yourself. Do let me know in your comments what you feel about this, and have a great day. For all my new subscribers, I just want to tell you that I'm a hair and makeup artist with 13 years of experience. I'm based in New Delhi. I also have my own brand called CS Essentials, where we sell makeup pouches, makeup holders, crown brushes. We also have sturdy extra large size of vanity boxes and our own lashes. In case you wish to see what all we sell, please follow us on CS Essentials India on Instagram.